and so they wanted their cut. But I think Chicharo was one of the main dudes that was, you know, because the rumors that he got a group of players and they were gonna stage like a boycott during the World Cup.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was after the Germany game.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then FMF was like, "All right, no need. We'll give in." But I guess they you know, they didn't forget.
All I know is I forgot after what game they all decided to get their hair bleached, and that didn't do anything.
Yeah, and I think that was also part of it. That was the group that was like united.
Hmm. Yeah, it was like him, Layun, Salcedo. There's a few players that had that bleached hair against Brazil, and yeah, it didn't work out for them. Um, but yeah, what a frustrating match on the road. El Salvador, very hostile environment. Wasted no time. Hector Moreno scoring early, 30th minute. And fun fact, that is his third goal in San Salvador. So I don't know,
He's in,
man.
in fifth overall, right?
His fifth goal for the national team, and three of them have been against El
Three-
Salvador, man.
Man, son clientes. That's it, man. Son sus hijos.
And obviously, a lot of physicality, ankle stepping and shoving. There ended up being two red cards in this match, one for Jacobo and then the other for Néstor Araujo, which, Néstor Araujo, man, you play in Celta Viga, you can't be losing your head, bro. Like you're a center back. You should have a little bit more discipline there, but he lost his head. He went, straight for the face and gets red carded. But thankfully, Raúl Jiménez scores uh, a goal that gives us a little bit of a cushion. And Mexico are in first place of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers with 14 points. They have yet to taste defeat, 4 victories, 2 draws, and their next 3 games will be on the road. So, should we be concerned? How do we feel about Tata's
Nah,
performance so far?
it's 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 what I wanted to say. It's to what was expected, but I know fans were expecting this team to bulldoze through the whole qualifiers. But I think just given his whole stint, it's pretty in line with what he has been doing. So I'm not surprised. I don't know why some fans were fearing we're not going to the World Cup. A bit exaggerated there.
The commentary I've read is not people, worried about the World Cup. As far as the of qualifying to it, it's more like we're not looking very impressive, and the reason is because Tata's, I think his first few games, you know, he was still the shiny brand new car with a new car smell, and
but 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 Juan,
and yeah, let me finish. And he was basically showing us like the new way Mexico was. It was the 3Gs all over again, and
yeah,
now reality setting in, and it's not gonna be so easy. It's not always gonna be pretty, you know.
yeah. But when hasn't that been the case? Where and I think the media pushes this narrative because the team's not playing well during a Molero or during qualifiers. Oh, well, if they're playing like this now, how are they going to play at the World Cup? And you see this play off time and time again. And then you see that it doesn't really matter. Once the World Cup comes, it's a whole other
it's a
tournament.
it's a completely different ball game.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of
Dude,
players end up showing up. I mean, look, just for example, it was one of the reasons Bora Milutinovic got sacked.
I was
His second stint.
Jolie.
With wait,
Th-
just really quick.
no, thank you for bringing that up because I was about to point out that hey, he could still qualify and he could still get sacked, before the
Yeah,
World Cup.
he
Like it's two different events here going on.
Mm.
Well, you know what? And I wasn't thinking of that, but you are correct, and it's happened. So that happened to Belibor, and they bring in La Puente, and La Puente, his results. going into the World Cup, they were abysmal. The team looked bad. Um, and it was like you but once the team got to France, it was some of the most exciting games we've seen of La Selección at the World Cup. So it means that I think people put too much stock in these games. They should see the overall results, overall performance, not just they couldn't beat this El Salvador team that's pretty weak sauce, and that's so we suck. Stuff like that, and it gets exaggerated all the time. Uh, Even like I remember like 2014 Brazil World Cup, Mexico's playing Croatia, and they're like, oh, Croatia's going to they're gonna wash Mex. They have Rakitic and they have how's that dude from Real Madrid, Modric.
Modric.
Said, oh yeah, they stand no chance with that midfield. And dude, Gallito showed up.
That
He fucking
striker,
bossed him, and fucking
I
Mex
know.
ended up winning
What's
that
his
game.
name? Mazujic. Yep.
Hey, isn't Croatia the team that made the final 4 years later, or am I misremembering?
They did, but
With a
I'm saying,
population of 4 million.
Yeah, dude.
Uruguay has what,
That
two
Three.
or
that's
three, and
basically
they
that, that's Jolie's neighborhood out there in South LA.
I don't.
Oh, that's right. He moved.
Yeah, but still, it's not putting too much stock in some of these things, because then in the grand scheme of things, a lot of times they don't really matter. Uh, you know, I think El Salvador seeing the game, they were being resultadistas. They're just playing not to get washed, not to get destroyed. 2-0, I think it works for them. The other teams haven't been that consistent. I
Hey,
didn't see the Canada. I think they were losing when I saw it. And I didn't see how they finished.
What? What? What?
Jolie, I'm sorry, Jaime. Just real quick,
Yeah.
wasn't the Bora firing also a media, a
Yeah, it
media
was.
campaign to get La Puente in there again?
Yeah, it was. It was. They would say that the stadium was chanting "Fuera Bora," and they would concentrate on one small section, and like the three people that brought banners. But yeah, it was. I wanted to see him, and the old dude he still ends up going to the World Cup, which was in France, and he took Nigeria, and they beat Spain with that Spain team was one of the favorites. And they had a really good deep team, and then it's kind of sad what happened after that. He sort of beating them was like a curse. He talks in an interview how they didn't want to listen to him after that. Nigeria's like, we got this. And I think this Nigeria was the same that had maybe not the whole squad, but a lot of those players that had won the Olympics, right? In Atlanta when they beat Brazil.
No idea.
Anyone? Okay.
Bueller, I don't
I'm
remember
I'm
that part.
I'm pretty sure that I'll ask Google, but I think they had won it in '96, so now it went to their heads, and then the team ended up not doing too good, and it
Yeah,
was
I think they
very
had a stacked team
talented.
that year.
They
But
did.
they were they had some old veterans, but I think they had a lot of youngsters on that squad.
I think the whole squad was old, because I remember another interview. I forgot the dude, because then like after that sort of plummeted, and he was saying how if they knew the real ages, you wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Nigeria won the '96 Olympics. Yeah, they won,
Which they could have won it with overage players.
and we all know about birth certificates from, like it's like questionable,
Well, it was a really big thing, for years, especially from the African teams, and then it got to the point where FIFA changed the rules for youth, because clubs used to be able to bring youth, and then you ended up with all these like homeless kids in Europe, because they would like the club would release them, and then their agent would just leave them over there, and so that's crazy. Imagine some homeless kid that was at Inter for like a year, and now he's trying to play cascaritas for
So,
coins or something.
kind of bringing it back to the Salvadorian game. What's up with the banners? Al Mundial no vamos, pero a México sí le ganamos.
Oh,
Like,
that's old. That's old stuff, man.
but they still have that banner. I'm like, I don't
Because they
understand.
haven't gone to the World Cup.
They're
that's,
still
that's
struggling
not
with that.
coming down, dude. They're like the Atlas of the hexagonal, of the octagonal now. CONCACAF.
I saw a comment, el equipo de El Salvador parece un equipo dominguero que se hidrata con caguamas.
Yeah, hey, weren't you guys talking about that? That they all look like they have beer bellies.
That was Yums. But the follow-up comment was like, no wonder Gullit loved it over
Oh
there.
yeah,
That was
Gulli.
some funny shit.
Gulli played for FAS, man. He must have had a great time. Now he's in I think he's in Guatemala now.
Nah, those guys are fit. I think it must have been the shirt. I don't think they're.
I'm just
I
watching
don't
the
think
game
they're
myself,
fat
by the
dudes.
way. So
Antigua. He's at Antigua, Guatemala. Which, fun fact, Guatemala currently has more coaches in their league that are Mexican than the Mexican league. What's up with that?
hey, Jolie, care to explain that one?
Yeah, man. You Mexicans, you hate your. Hugo Sanchez said it, man. The crabs. You guys, the barrel of crabs. You'll pull them down. I don't know, man. The league, the fans. I don't know how it happened, but they just don't like. They don't like a Mexican coach. They'll, they won't respect. My boy Buse with the nickname like King Midas. No respect for my Chi hermanos. None whatsoever. Not even Tena. They even hated that guy. And he was gold medal. That didn't matter. When Nacho was at America, he had a lot. He got a lot of hate from Americanistas. I remember when they announced, like the Twitter, and on Twitter the club announced that he was sacked, and it was bad, dude. I can't even repeat some of that stuff that
You
their
know
own fans were saying. It's just, I don't know, man.
that's a lame excuse.
What's a
That's a
lame
pretty
excuse?
that's a saying that they get hate from fans. Like that's a lame
Well, because
excuse.
no, it's not an
No,
excuse for
listen,
failure. I'm saying that from the
it's
get go, there's no trust. People don't like the Mexican coach, or the own Mexican fans don't like him. That's not. I'm not making
dude,
excuses for not
that
having
makes
a
zero
good
sense.
season.
If anything, I think it's more. I mean, you could say, hey, it's the promotores, like, the clubs has deals with certain promoters, blah blah blah. But I mean, these Mexican coaches have those same promoters. That's how they keep landing these jobs over and over again. I think
Yeah,
it's
but
more.
it's but it's
To me, it's the front offices looking at the coaches and be like, you know what? There's really no interesting prospects, like nothing new out there from these coaches. They're old, they're recycled. We know what we got with them. Let's try this guy. Now that there's no how do you say it could cut both ways, but now that there's pretty much no risk to trying out like a completely new idea or an unknown coach, like they're doing it with foreigners that have the same thing they've been doing with the foreign players, with
yeah, but
guys
see,
with the
Juan, all
experience,
these
the
foreigners
pedigree.
come from abroad, and when you see
Exactly.
all these
Yeah.
players that are from Mexico, they will rather do broadcasting, and there's a reason why a lot of them would not.
Well,
They don't want to. And in
and
Brody, we talked about this yesterday. How Campos said he didn't want to coach in Mexico, and then
yeah,
we
but
just saw it recently with
for
Gonzo.
every Jorge Campos, you got a Profe Cruz or a Jaime Lozano. So the guys are out there. You got the Gonzalo Pinedas. I think the biggest problem, and we talked about this before, is the coaching curriculum and the coaching development. Like you got this guy or this YouTuber. What was the name that you guys always throw around? Reimers or Reamers. They got a coaching license, a professional one. Like,
It
I
still
mean,
stings, huh, Juan?
it, huh? No, I mean, look,
That's-
if you want to say that your coaching license system is a joke, like that's a perfect example right there, where you got this Instagrammer, YouTuber, influencer, getting her
that
coaching
that doesn't
badges
make
and,
that
and saying,
doesn't
hey, look at
mean.
me, I'm ready, put me on Chivas, like.
Well, you gotta go and do it, but that's the school is the same. You go to school, you show up, you do your work, and you'll get. You
Yeah, but
can.
I mean, Jolie, like if you look at the European licensing system, it's a little tiered, and it also like it's just a different process. You work at a club, you get an internship, and it's just a totally different system, and you have to continue getting licensing for it. I think they need to look at that and bring that system over here, or even partner with the US on that. I mean, they're partnering with them on everything else, right?
So you're saying US has better licensing?
I think they're going in the right direction. I don't
Mm.
know. I mean their requirements are more demanding. I'll tell you that much. I mean, you're not gonna have no YouTuber with zero experience like just get a license.
That sounds like hate. I mean, Juan,
Nah, it's not, dude. I mean, dude, this is like
player
like
haters.
if you want to be an engineer, you want to be an architect, you gotta go through the educational system. You gotta get you get your experience, then you go get your stamp certified by the state. You pass the architectural board or the engineering board. Actually, I forget exactly what the name of the board is, but there's a qualified exam you have to take to be a professional engineer with your engineering stamp and then there's one for like structural engineering. Architects have their own exam that they have to take. So I mean, it's in every other professional environment that you do go through the system. You don't have YouTubers saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be a engineer, I'm gonna be an architect, come buy my plans." Like it doesn't really work like that anywhere.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different in Mexico, and I mean that's why we are the way we are. Haven't progressed in at least in my
Yeah.
lifetime. It's always been around a 16 exit for me. So for me, look, I'm treating this as a separate tournament from the World Cup. The way Mexico plays and the form that they're in isn't necessarily going to translate to the big dance. By all means necessary, get the results, get the points, especially on the road, and obviously keep the players healthy. I don't know if it's arrogant for me to say this, but I don't know. We should be taking our best to El Salvador, man. We should be taking our like domestic team, because you don't want to see these players get banged up, man. They have to go back to Europe, and then the Cubs won't release them anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. That's like thinking that any team can go down there and then they're just gonna roll over. And they've gotten results over Mex before, so it's not like I don't know. We tend to see these teams being more weak than they actually are.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what happened with the States, right? They underestimated Panama and ended up losing on Sunday, and then the first game of their qualifier, they got a draw against El Salvador. So I get it,
Yeah,
not underestimating your opponent.
it's yeah. We would it's like I've seen this joke
Hey,
being
hold on, hold
made.
on. El equipo de todos is no longer in the lead.
They lost the lead a while back.
uh,
Juan,
oh, I
you
thought no, I mean, I saw they lost it, but I thought they're back on top. They won
Nah,
today, no?
we're
no, Mexico would have had to lose for
yeah.
them or drawn.
No, not even a draw. They had to lose. No, USA is second place with 11 points. Mexico has 14. Canada has 10. Panama has 8.
Yeah, well, the joke used to be they should throw an average person into the Olympics just so we could see, how they would rate against, the
What for?
athletes. And
Come
that's
on, Joey.
no, it's true, man. You should throw a regular dude into one of these qualifiers. You know, a Cascarita legend. Throw them in there. See how they're gonna do. These guys are still.
You you
They
want a
might.
you want a 40-year-old dude up in there with the 20-year-olds?
I
Hey, a
was
youngster then. I'll throw a 25-year-old dude
on Do the End, and they were actually joking around like you gotta go, like this makes you want to go on the field and show them how to cross a ball because the states weren't crossing the ball correctly, and
Yeah.
I started laughing because these
Well, yeah.
dudes they
Joey's gonna fracture his spleen or something, bro. Mess up his hip,
No,
man. Don't put those demands on him no more.
but see, there's the thing. A lot of times you don't know what the field condition is like. You know, a lot of times they wet the field. You don't know that how
Otra
it's
vez with the busting out the paraguas. Jolie.
It's not paraguas. It's because
Jolie,
we're
you
not
fucking
playing.
played on a bumpy pitch with holes. Like you had to chase the gophers off the field. You know, you had
The
dogs
one's
like
gonna
shitting on
say
the field while you're playing, bro.
he played barefoot kicking a coconut.
Yeah, bro. Like you're complaining about the field quality when you're playing barefoot kicking coconuts.
No, but have you ever kicked one of those balls? Because they're not like those soccer balls you use, Juan.
Well, they put helium in them, so they're actually a
Yeah,
little
they're
lighter.
Wait, is that
and
true?
fast. They go fast, dude. They
Is that
go.
true?
Yes, it is, sir. Oh, if
Yeah.
you ever.
All right, so
Hey, you're in the pitch, dude. Next time you see a ball, just kick it.
no, because
I
I've been
When you're taking photos, just huh?
so like when I was a kid and I used to go to like the games live, I noticed that the ball would like float in the air a little bit longer than I've ever seen
Yeah.
it. And then I was taking photos of the Quakes like warming up, and at the stadium there's no barrier between the photographers and the pitch. So I got tagged with one of those balls like pretty hard, man. I wasn't paying attention. And helium or not, it still fucking hurt, man.
Yeah,
I,
but it can
I
make it
think the air
difficult
pressure is still the
sometimes.
same. The air pressure should still be should be still be the same. It's just different effect when it's in the air and stuff.
Huh.
What's that brand? It starts with an M. Mitre, or is
Mitre.
it Mitre?
Mitre.
That's what I played with. It
Damn.
heavy, and if it got wet, it made it even. You
Yeah.
could get a concussion from hitting that ball.
Isn't
But
that
they
the
would last,
Liga?
dude. Those balls would last long.
That's the Liga MX brand, no? Or it used to be.
Yeah,
Nah.
but I think it was, but I had the
That
cheap
band's
one.
that's a UK brand, Mitre.
I think they were though, because they've had. I don't know if they're still doing that, but I know for a while they had like the official ball of Liga MX.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think like in the '90s, dude. Maybe.
I've always known it as Voight.
Yeah, they were for a long time too.
But
I haven't heard of them in.
Mitre was the official ball for the MLS when it first started, but I don't know about Liga MX.
Oh.
I
Anyways,
might be confusing them.
We'll have to double check that. We'll have the intern. Don't we have an intern now working? We'll have the intern double check that.
He's does Beto, but he's watching watching Chicharo
he's watching
play
Chicharo
Call
play
of Duty.
Call of Duty on Twitch.
So
You think
let me
we're
get this
joking,
straight.
but we're not. You might think we're joking, but he actually does watch.
Chicharo plays Warzone while instead of
Yeah.
getting fit for the national team
Yep.
and Beto instead of coming on the podcast he's watching Cheech.
Yep, that's
No,
right.
dude, not even fit for the national team. That's when he was at the Galaxy, and he was just ass, and he couldn't score for like 10 games.
Well,
And
last year he only scored 2 goals his entire
yeah,
season.
and
Yeah.
but he got like how many kills? His kill
Yeah.
ratio was better.
He's getting
Well,
paid millions of dollars. It doesn't matter anymore.
That's
Well,
the life. See, how can you hate? Who wouldn't want to do that? You land a job, you're secured for 4 years, and you're just playing Call of Duty.
Hey, Jolie, I heard you're a trophies chaser now, though.
I always been. See, I just showed him tough love. Juan. I showed him tough love. I think Chihuahua fans are too forgiving. And it's funny because we were talking about him right before he went on his bender. We were talking about how it was like San Jose was like his last chance to like prove what he has, because no Liga MX team was trying to get him. So it's like if he returns to Mex from Liga MX with his tail between his legs, you're more likely to see him in a Liga de Ascenso or one of those new
Guatemala.
Okay, yeah, and
Hey, but Jolie
and
calls the Guatemala league up and coming league now too.
no, I didn't,
With all,
man. That's
with all
just
the
you guys
Mexican
hating.
coaches there,
That's just you
step
proving
up,
my
right?
point earlier.
Where are you discrediting the league now, man?
I'm not discrediting it. I just never said. I just want more Mex coaches playing wherever they can.
Yeah.
Representation one.
We're heading back to Liga MX this weekend. We didn't really cover match week 12, a week in which Atlas beat Chivas 1-0 thanks to some refereeing. Iran Mir got sent off within the first 14 minutes, and they end up winning the match 1-0. Later on, Gudinho and I think Alexis Vega hopped on social media and said some words, and then they got a little bit of backlash for complaining. And then I went to go cover them. They played in LA against FAS. They ended up drawing 0-0. And then they were supposed to play in San Jose, but there was shooting involved in the Cruz Azul game. So they decided to do it behind closed doors. And then Chivas ended up beating Leon 3-1. So Michel's kind of redeemed himself there. Still no news on a new coach. However, there are rumors.
It was a closed door Molero, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Cruz Azul could have sent the water boys and the utility staff to play Chivas.
No, it was Leon. It was Leon.
Leon, there you go.
But there's a rumor about Van Chip returning to coach Chivas. He's currently coach of Greece. They caught him on a post-match conference, and they asked him about it, and he says he can't comment on it, which basically pretty much the cat's out of the bag. Like, they have approached him for the job.
No, they haven't. Jaime, come on.
Yeah,
how can you believe this stuff?
I think it could be his agent kind of
Yeah, you're finally
stirring the
paying
waters,
attention to me, Juan.
muddying the water, so Greece will
Yes.
fork out a little more money.
Well, his contract with Greece, going off the transfer market, is until March.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they're allowed to negotiate 6 months, 6 months before it ends, or at least that's what I see the players doing.
So basically, it's like, why would Chivas go after a coach?
Then again, I mean, the team did not play bad under him. Like they look good, and he only had like a few months on the job, and they were looking good.
They didn't, but I mean, what's the point of discussing it when the odds of that are pretty nil?
You had Rafa Marquez Lugo, kind of a journeyman, and he was the playing under Van Cheap. Actually got that guy back on the national team. Remember, he got called up to the I think was it the Gold Cup under Chepo and a few games.
Yeah, but I mean, let's see what's in it for Van Chip. Why would he leave a national team in Europe to come into Chivas that are like might not even make Liguilla?
Because of money. I'm sure that they could offer him more money than he's making
money, but
Greece.
for how long? It's not like Chivas guarantees you a 2-year job. He's would be there for 6 months?
Well, so I mean, imagine. I mean, how the Chivas job goes. He's there for 3 months.
He still gets paid out.
3 years of salary, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've had to pay out Tena and Vucetic. They had to pay him out for the rest of their contract. So
they're still, they're probably still paying Tena. That's why it doesn't make sense. And we're going off of what Pelaya said, that Tena's contracts were yearly. So basically, he still had contract until the end of the season, or I guess that's what he means by yearly. Year by year, season by season. Or whatever months are left. Anyway, so they have to pay that out. Doesn't make sense that Chivas now it's going to go after a coach that is tied to a contract and have to buy that contract out. And also, if you're a coach of like Van Chib, where he's in Europe, where if he does a decent job, that will help him more than if he returns to Mex. At this point, it will be a step back in his career.
The timelines don't really line up anyways, because he's not available until March, so he wouldn't come in until next year.
But why? This still doesn't make sense, man. I mean, look.
What's that?
he's in Greece. He could probably from there make the jump to a Euro club.
Maybe.
And when he goes to Mex,
Is he?
it's sort of like he's going backwards. I mean, look at what happened to Almeida. He won what five campeonatos. What offer did he get, Juan? What top what
You're
EPL
asking
team did he
about?
ended up in?
Hold on, hold on. Let me check if Almeida's in the Guatemalan league. Hold on, give me a second. You're asking me where he's at, right? Um.
Yeah, I was saying what
Yeah,
offers
yeah.
did he get?
Oh, what offers did he get? Well, remember when you punked Hugo Sanchez when Hugo's all like, "Hey, your boy is trying to place you at the national team." So, but I was trying to look up the prospects for the Greece national team, whether Van Chip is exceeding expectations, or he's kind of so
Failing.
with the team, and
Yeah,
I'm having trouble finding the standings, but maybe my Google searches are kind of skewed
that's why you can't.
by all the links you send me, Jolie. So, so let me
Yeah,
go
it
over
just
here.
it just doesn't make sense. I think the media's been just attacking Chivas, promoting their own people. They were going with Almeida for a while. Now they jumped to Van Chip. I don't know
Well, they were
what
pushing Leaño too, right? Or Leaño's the
they
Ekran,
pushed. They did
Ekran.
push them hard, and then they did it also with they were trying to do it to Amauri, right? They were saying, oh, the new guy that's gonna take over the presidency for Chivas, and Amari made a statement of like, hey, I'm not going anywhere. Stop trying to he sort of
Pushed
called
me
him
out the
out.
door.
Yeah, so I mean, I do think there's promoters involved. I had been saying it for a while. There was like just trying to get their foot in the door, trying to be like, hey, I could put an end to all this madness.
All right, so check this out. Greece is in Group B of UEFA,
Uh-huh.
and you have Sweden, Spain.
Oof.
Sweden is in first place with 5 wins, 1 loss. Spain is in second, 4 wins, a loss, and a draw, and then you have Greece, 2 wins, 3 draws, and a loss. And the other two teams are Georgia and Kosovo. So I'm not exactly sure the details on the UEFA qualifying, but I imagine the first place makes the first place
Well,
I think
qualify
it's
it
to.
used
the
to,
I think it's the first two teams, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, because they increased the number of teams going to the World Cup.
Oh, that's right. This is the first World Cup with like 48 or whatever.
Yeah, so
Uh,
now more and more, it's more
so
inclusive.
so he's got a good chance of making the World Cup with Greece.
Yeah,
Uh,
so he's
I
gonna go to
think
Chivas, right?
I think was that you. I hear I hear what you said. I'm sorry.
I'm saying that's why he's considering going to Guadalajara because
Yeah,
he would rather be at Liga MX
that's not
with.
happening. That's not happening. You're right. I mean,
I,
if you can go to the World Cup, I'm sure the Chivas contract will still be there once the World Cup ends.
it those just are rumors, and it's kind of sad for me seeing my Chi hermanos get all excited, and it just I was like, are they even really paying attention to what's going on? I mean, you still have Pelaez. Has Pelaez ever brought in someone from outside Liga MX or someone that he doesn't know, have like a straight connection with?
I think
And you could,
we're just chasing tennis balls, man. Whatever they're throwing at us, we're just chasing because we're hungry. We're just looking for anything
thirsty,
because
man.
I mean it's Michele Año and he hasn't really. I mean he's the intern. He's just a caretaker, but we need a plan. The team's not playing well. You lose to Atlas, you're gonna have Toluca on Sunday. It's just like we need to qualify and we need a coach.
It's bad. I sort of like with this happening, I lost some faith in the club because I really thought that Pelaez was gonna that they were gonna hand him the reins,
dude. So
and I
you don't
feel
you
that
Jolie.
What?
that was the straw that broke the camel's back for you.
It
Getting rid
is
of
because
Muse.
it's a
It,
waste. It was not just getting rid of him. It's sort of like saying we don't trust this process, so
it
we're
wasn't the
we're gonna pull the rug from under you,
the
and then
merry-go-rounds, the
the rug. I
merry-go-rounds.
said the rug, pull the rug from under him.
No, no,
And
but
it
I'm telling you, all the coaching merry-go-rounds like that didn't do it for you.
no, because what I'm talking about when he came back
Ah,
we're
with
talking
in
about we're
when
Peláez,
talking
you mean
about Pelas's tenure.
yeah,
the
what
New
the hell are
Hope,
you talking about?
the New Hope. You
No,
mean?
yeah. So I mean, it's just it's you have to wonder what's going back there in all the news coming out. So there's probably like some type of struggle, and it could be from even within the club. If there was talk of
Oh,
replacing,
from within the ownership group. You mean the?
yeah, from within the ownership group,
Yeah.
and it sucks because it ends up affecting the team. Juwan, I think you have your speaker on. I could hear myself.
Uh, yeah, I probably do, dude. I don't have a headset. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh.
just when you don't talk, just mute yourself.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Oh,
I'm trying.
okay.
I've been focusing on your voice now. I got mesmerized. My bad.
No, so I'm just saying it's sort of sad because the team was not playing spectacular, but it was at least becoming a bit more consistent. They had already, achieved some things that they weren't they were finishing at least eighth, ninth compared to finishing 17th, 15th, 14th. And I guess it's not enough for the fans, but I think fans a lot of times they don't see past just the game. There's all these things happening, and so it was kind of like, well, the team's at least now going into liguilla. No more 5 seasons in a row with no liguilla. They're at least in liguilla, and it's sort of like, oh, well, this we could do better, and it's like, well, where is that coming from? Because they haven't done better, so it's just disappointing.
I think ever since uh, ever since the Regatas took the club, there's always been this lack of stability. But Jolie, are those rumors true about Luis Michel, and Pato Araujo with Fuentes?
What?
Did Ramos ever comment on those?
Oh, I haven't heard. I don't know what you're talking about, Juan.
Oh, they were feeding info to her. You know Fuentes, Vergara's wife. They're feeding info to her. Well, the reason I ask is
Oh,
because maybe, yeah,
Angelica,
Angelica, yeah, maybe they picked up a curse, dude. They cursed the club by messing with the owner's wife.
They
she.
Eiffel Towered her, didn't they?
Oh, but that was before. That was part of what started it. Once Vergara married, he married Angelica, and then she owned like some stock in the team. But then after the whole, you know, funneling money and all that, they took a lot of her, they took away like her ownership of the team and also with Only Life. But she has two daughters with she had two daughters with Vergara, and of course they're part of the inheritance. So I think she's fighting for at least to control or something, but she's still there in the mix. She's still trying to get something.
There's a quote from Jesus Angulo saying that la verdad estamos muy cómodos con él, con el sistema y con su cuerpo técnico sobre ideas frescas. Creo que él tiene ideas muy buenas que si llevamos a cabo nos pueden llevar a conseguir buenos resultados. Al terminar el torneo, vamos a terminar el torneo con la mejor manera. No pensamos en un cambio. So he's happy with Leaño. He's happy with the system, his fresh ideas, and they don't want him to leave. Or at least Angulo doesn't want him to leave.
As the standings are as of this weekend, Chivas is in 12th place, so they would make um
Repechaje.
the
They would
repechaje
still make it.
for Liguilla, which is not, I think that was the same situation last time, right? They didn't make the first day. They made what,
They
ninth or
they
tenth.
made ninth and then they lost to Pachuca in the
Yes, but
repechaje.
they should have finished eighth though. The league gifted
Atl-
gifted Atlas with
yeah,
three goals and 3 points.
I mean,
Atla-
we can go back to every game that every team played and see who lost points and who gained points based on
No, but those were
referee
gifted off
decisions.
off
those
of the
yeah,
off of the
that was a
field.
real bullshit technicality that Atlas
Uh,
got overturned because
Yeah,
they played the game and then after the fact they decided to award them 3 points. So
yeah, because America had a player that wasn't registered in the bench who didn't play.
didn't even play.
but he was on the 18 of that
He
day.
was on the bench, I
He
think,
was on
just
the
for the
bench.
first half. I think
Yeah,
not even the
then they
full
put him in
game.
El Palco, but by then the seeker got out and yeah. But nonetheless, yeah, Chivas are in 12th with 14 points, and they played Toluca, who have had a great season, and they're in third place. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough gig. And I think the goal for Chivas right now that they fired Vucetic, is just to ride this out and try to get into the top 12 and see if they can squeeze their way into Liguilla. But I mean, this reeks of failure, and I think Pelas should take a little bit more responsibility for that.
Yeah, I honestly thought he would have stepped aside
Yeah, me too.
because it does all this stuff going on. It's falling on him, and there still seems to be a dispute whether they bring a coach or not. And so he could have just been like, "All right, do your thing," you know, like just finish it out then and see what happens. I do think he's one of those, he's kind of on the outs. I think if he were to leave Chivas, he wouldn't find a job.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those suicide missions, if you fail at Chivas, your career basically goes in a
But
downward
I don't, I don't,
trajectory.
I don't think just I don't think it would be just the whole failing at Chivas. The more so, he's never really been like connected to promoters. And you had Vucetic in one of his interviews after leaving. He talked about how he hasn't been able to coach many teams because he hasn't given into that. And so I do think that's a big problem. And also we've talked about how does a club go? What is it? 3 seasons now they can't buy a player.
Yeah.
Hey,
And,
Vucetic kind of loses more street cred with Chivas fans because he was praising America. I think last week saying they're the last big team that's run well or something, But it really seemed like he's taking a little jab at the Chivas faithful that wanted him out. That's kind of how I kind of interpreted it.
but I mean, is he lying? Chivas
Uh,
hasn't been run well in like what 50
yeah,
years,
but I
60
think if you're
maybe.
just coming like the timing of the statement,
Yeah, but if
I
they're
think it just
asking
comes off
him,
like
if they're asking him,
like
it's not like he just went on and
it,
tweeted
it
it.
sounds like sour grapes, like you just broke up with your girl, like, oh, is that other chick hotter? Oh yeah, she's way hotter. My
Well, I
ex.
can't blame him. I can't blame
Yeah,
him.
I to me it's like your butt hurt, sour grapes. That's how it reads to me. But
What I
other
don't
people can
get
look at it
is
differently.
we have a team, Newcastle United, being bought out by, these Saudi princes for 400 million. And I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? We can't attract that kind of foreign buyout for Chivas. What is
No,
up with that, man?
because there's no money. With your EPL, the TV contract gets you a lot of money. If I forgot how many billions or millions each club gets, just from the TV deal. which is league wide.
Yeah,
And that
I
doesn't exist in Mexico. It's every club for themselves.
I don't think
And
but the money's not in the revenue. It's gonna be in the value that Newcastle
no,
increases in
but it's
because
it's in TV and
the yeah but
sponsorships, Juan.
yeah
And
but
then
the
if
new
they make
owner Jolie, the new owner is gonna invest in the club first before they even
yes, but
make
it's
Yeah.
any
still
money.
making
So
They're
they
not going to
still
see
make
a return on their investment for a long time.
yeah,
no,
it's gonna be
but they
like
still the amount of money they could make
so based
from
on the
TV deals and even like Champions League,
yeah,
if they
but
were to get to a champion.
Jolie, all the money they can make, they're gonna use the financial fair play rules to reinvest back in the club. That's
Okay,
how they're
yeah,
gonna.
but see, we're comparing to why go to a Newcastle and a Chivas,
Well, yeah,
because at Chivas
exactly. I mean, but that's
you're
why
not gonna
because
make anywhere near what they make at Newcastle.
yeah, but they're not gonna make money for the next probably 5 seasons. They're gonna every dime they make, they're gonna use as much as they can to buy players, to invest
Yes,
in
but
players,
it's
invest
still
in the
gonna
squad.
there's still gonna be more value.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm saying. Like the money in that purchase is on the increase in value that Newcastle's gonna see from having these rich owners, throw money into the club.
Yeah, but I
Like
mean,
Man
like
City,
the amount of money
I'm a
they will spend on like one player, they could buy like a Mexican All Star team and put them in Chivas, and they'll probably
and
they
and would they still win the league?
I mean they'll have every tool available to win the league, and then you got the League's Cup, and then it's just one of those things where it baffles me
The
that
League's Cup.
I know I'm like stretching it here, but I'm like what I'm saying is like
Florero.
this is easily the biggest club in North America. And like how that doesn't attract like a foreign investor is beyond like I don't understand. Maybe it's because
because
Mexico's crazy and cutthroat, and maybe they just don't know the
But
politics.
these guys, these
no,
the new owner is the king of Saudi Arabia, right? Or it's his fund or something.
I have no idea.
At least what I understood is there's a connection with was that guy Bin Salman?
yeah, but I mean, they're not. The whole league would have to be at another level for that to happen, and it's tied to TV. It's just not happening in Max anytime soon. So you're not gonna see that. That's why you kind of haven't seen that. The investors that have came in are just smaller, like on the smaller side.
I
Well,
guess
there was rumors that Carlos Slim wanted to buy Chivas for a bit, but
That was years ago, yeah. And
they
that
were
and Canelo Alvarez.
could,
but I remember there's a Forbes interview with Angelica Fuentes. She wanted 600 million for the team back then.
yeah, she didn't even own it though.
Yeah, I wonder, like, they must have had like people approach them and asking like, hey, we're really interested in the club, and so they started throwing around that price, like, okay, well, give us 600 million, Hey, on the Newcastle, so the takeover is by this it's this is Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, which is their the king of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. He's the chair of PIF
Oh,
of that fund. So I mean, basically, he owns the club.
we have YouTube comments from our number one fan Ricardo saying one team is English and they're playing the Premier League, and the other team plays in Liga MX. That's why no foreign owner wants Chivas. And Saudis won't get attention by owning a Liga MX team. They want the spotlight on them, and Premier gives them that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a higher profile league, no
I
doubt.
get it.
Do you remember that jersey sales number I brought it up once? I think I linked it to you guys in chat. They had Chivas like at 2.6 million jersey sales for the year, and that topped a lot of clubs, even the European ones.
That's in
Let me see if I can find it.
just the United States or North America or where? Or just
Well, well, it had the global numbers for all the clubs,
oh, okay.
but it's just, I mean, I guess jersey sales is only one number, and
Yeah.
or one part of the equation. You still got the TV revenue and the stadium revenue.
Yeah.
The TV revenue you can't compare.
Yeah. I'm actually curious to see how much Telemundo is paying them and how much they're making off of Chivas TV.
Yeah, not much.
What? It's $3 a month, bro.
Is
I
it?
don't know why you guys aren't
I thought it was
supporting.
like 7 or something.
Not
It went down.
not with this fuckery going on. They're not getting a penny from each one.
Man, yeah. So I was at the friendly here at the bank, and was surprised to see Amauri and Pelas in attendance. And they gave Ramon Morales, who was signing autographs before the game, they gave him a little plaque to honor him. And yeah, it was a little nice gesture there. But I was just surprised to see them. Like, what's the owner and the director doing at a friendly in Los Angeles?
Bisneando, I'm guessing.
And then also there might be a coincidence or not, but the game that Chivas won in San Jose, people are joking around saying that Matias was whispering things to Leaño the whole time. He was actually the one coaching the team out there on that Saturday, since they were in his hometown. But yeah, it's one of those things. I did want to have a little bit of a rant about Cruz Azul and their fuckery, as Joel likes to say. That friendly that they had on Thursday, San Jose, and yeah, one of the fans decided to jump on the field and sucker punch a San Jose Earthquakes player, and then Chris Wondolowski got him in a headlock, and they escorted him off the field. And then after the game, there was a shooting in the parking lot, and it's not the first time there's been violence at this venue. America and Atlas played each other a couple months ago, and same thing, fights in the parking lot. And it's just one of those things where there's violence. There's always violence at these games, and you have this sort of propaganda to try and get Liga MX to join forces with MLS.
This is this the same venue that they had the Bola Roja? It's the same venue, right?
What's that?
The
When Mex lost to Chile.
Yeah, when Mexico lost to Chile,
No, that was at the 49ers Stadium in Santa Clara. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Earthquakes actually played in a soccer-specific stadium that fits about 18,000 fans right next to the airport. So super.
Right,
yeah.
There was a stadium I went to in NorCal. It was in San Jose.
Uh-huh.
Or no, it was in Santa Clara. I can't remember
okay.
now. Oh, it was in Santa Clara, but when Mexico played
Chile,
I want to say it was Iceland right before, or one of the last games before the World Cup.
Oh yeah, I was at that game. Yeah.
Is that?
That's the Levi Stadium. That's a American football stadium. That's where the 49ers play. Yeah.
Hold up. So they're called the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
But they don't play in San Francisco.
No, they play in Santa Clara. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking my notes here. I didn't have that. I didn't have that down.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's like how they call. Do they call the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, or is that no longer?
That's Jolie's team.
Oh, okay. Because I know they used to call them like the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, or they still had to keep Los Angeles in the name, but I don't know if that's still true.
Yeah, Jolie, he supports the Angels now because I think they're one of the few Latino owners in all of sports, right? The guy still owns them.
I don't watch baseball. I don't really watch any other sport, just football.
But yeah, those guys, they added when this guy bought him. I think a few years after he added Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim to their name.
Ricardo says Amari uses the Chivas jersey cash to fund his next indie film and to keep Omni Life afloat. Yeah, I mean, we all know Amari's passion is in film and cinema. That's why we had the Chivas on Amazon Prime, which there is no word if there's going to be a second season. But I mean, if they were to capture everything that's happened this season, like I don't want to see that in 4K, bro. I don't want to. The only thing
people would enjoy the
only thing I do, yeah. The only thing I would like to see is like kind of like the disconnect between Vuce and the players. Maybe he lost the locker room or who knows, but yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
think there was. I think all been political. I feel that's I don't
You know,
think
I
it
find it
was anything
interesting.
to do.
I find it interesting. Vuse was willing to sign 1 year contracts. I think didn't Pelai say that Vuse wanted it that way?
yeah.
So it
Yeah,
might have it might be something off the field that maybe he resigned, not that Chivas got rid of him.
but it would have
No,
he would have
he
done
didn't
a press
resign.
conference. He would have done a press
Yeah.
conference and said, "Hey, you know what? It is what
I
it
don't know,
is.
man.
Thank you. I'm out."
I think he read he read the room and he just said, you know what? He busted a half baked I'm out speech. You know.
Yeah, no,
And
no. I think Buse very much like Pelaez. They're like in the last. I don't see them getting any other opportunities unless they are connected to some promoter. But because they're not, I just don't see them landing.
did
And I
The
think this was
Guatemala
his.
league's expanding right now, so you never know.
Yeah, but within Liga MX, so and I think we saw how Pelaez got booted from Cruz Azul, and there's probably maybe at America, maybe somewhere down the line, maybe they'll welcome him back, but I just don't see other teams opening the doors for him.
I could see him at like Juarez or
But
Mazatlan.
no, not Juarez, because Juarez has the former Tigres guys, and they have yeah, Tuca. You're not
That's
gonna
right.
put someone to tell Tuca what to do. But I don't think he wants to go to those small teams, And same with Buse.
Hey,
He was
but
Querétaro for years. He's not.
Tuca's been partnering with Mejia Baron for a while. That's worked
McKellar
out pretty well.
somewhere else. But you're. I don't know what this got to do. Joao, what does this have to do
You
with
said you're not
anything?
gonna put anybody to put Tuca what to do or what. I mean, if
Yeah,
Pelai's
but
job is to
he got him.
look,
He
if
took appointed him. That was like Mejia Baron was like his mentor since
yeah, but that's
Pumas
what I'm
days.
saying. Like Pelais is not gonna dictate terms to Tuca. I don't think Pelais works that way. I think
Yes, he does.
Tuca Tuca it,
Read interviews with Piojo,
well
with
those guys
with
need their ear. I
Mohammed
mean,
and
look at Piojo, dude.
uh,
Loses his cool without Pelais around and
yeah, but
slaps this guy. Loses the job.
he's like GM, like someone like you don't put a GM to. It's like bringing a GM to Sir Alex Ferguson. You know what I mean? That's kind of what Tuca is in
I don't
Liga
think Tuca
MX.
has that much power, but
Yes, he
if you
does, man.
if you say he does, if you say he
he
does,
he did at Tigres. He was there for 10 years. You think they had someone telling him what to do? Well, that's a big reason why they booted him out because a new directiva came in and they're like, we're gonna run this now. So late, and he went to Juarez, and the Juarez is run by a former Tigres directivo.
Um, I do want to bring up. Didn't Vucevic have some like backhanded comments to say after he
He,
left?
yeah, he had an interview when he was talking about the promoters thing. I don't think they try to make it seem like that because they were asking him if did Leaño have anything to do, and he said no. And then what do you think of him as a coach? And he said he's a good kid. That's all he said, you know.
But
And they asked him, well, don't you see him as a coach or something? And he said he's just getting started. That's all he said. Which is true. He hasn't really done anything. Like if you see his curriculum, where he doesn't, it's not like he has years of coaching. So how are you going to comment on someone with almost, I do think they were trying to make it worse, but he did talk about how he's had difficulties because he's not linked to promoters.
didn't he say that like journalists were like threatening him to like pay us money or else we're gonna
Oh yeah, he
slander
said
you?
that too. Yeah, yep. And we were, and I was saying, like I was saying how it looked, and how he was getting attacked on all sides. I don't think those guys were trying to shake him down for money, like Perro Bermudez and
Ramon.
Joserra. Yeah, I don't think they were trying to shake him, but I wouldn't be surprised if some promoter went and be like, "Hey, man, do a hit piece on this guy. Here you go. Here's 5K or whatever." And because it just seemed out of it just seemed a little bit
Is
out
that
of
how much they
touch.
gave you, Jaime? Did they give you 5K?
I'm just throwing a number. I mean, because those are pretty big names with the most watched shows. They just happen to be the most watched shows, and they're both, Perro Bermudez talking about he was like fanning the flames. Oh, I got it on good source at Almeida, and they're reaching out to him, blah blah. And I was like, it's just,
Hey, hey,
it just seems very unprofessional.
hey,
And then
question for
you,
you guys. Question for you guys.
Sure.
I know we've been rehashing Buse and every week or a bit. So I a quick question, changing the subject. Cruz Azul, they were champions last season. We got 12 games in. There's what, 5 more games to go.
Yep.
What are the odds that Cruz Azul retains their title?
No chance. No chance whatsoever. This is not the same team. And they lost 2-0 to San Jose. I mean, I know it was just a friendly partido molero, whatever, but Cabecita Rodriguez was the starter, and a lot of the players were starters. Except for the ones that got called up for national duty, like Orbelin and Romo. But for the most part, I mean, that was the team, and I don't know. They just been unconvincing. They finally got the title out of the way. They finally got that done, and now they're kind of. I mean, this happens to every champion. They have campeonitis. They just kind of take it easy for the next round. So sadly, I do think America will probably win. I mean, they just have everything going right now,
Well,
and
you got the sub leader here, Atlas, in second place,
uh,
22 points, bro.
I don't think Atlas is gonna win anything. But this is 105 years for America, right? This is their 105th year anniversary, so they just look good, man. I hate to say it, man. I hate to say it, but they're doing good.
Now, I think the fix is in from Televisa. It's the perfect story, 105 years in the making.
I know our
I'm
listener
surprised Tony's
Ricardo.
not pointing this out, like,
I,
read all the tea leaves and stuff.
I know our listener Ricardo is agreeing with
and
me on that one. He says that Cruz Azul is pulling mafia. Uh, it says John Gotti tactics by sitting Luis Romo every other game because he hasn't signed a long contract. I actually didn't know that. I know him and Orbelin
Ah,
Pineda are both on expiring contracts that expire in December, so uh,
yeah,
that would make a lot of sense.
yeah, it does make sense. So where's this guy trying to go? Europe?
The
Like
latest rumor
everybody else?
was Celta Vigo, at least for Orbelin. Haven't heard anything from Romo. Maybe Italy. But yeah, those are the latest rumors. So yeah, we're about an hour in. Do you guys have any closing thoughts before we wrap up episode 306?
no, I think Max Tata qualifies World Cup. I do think these last three games on the road, I do think the media can go nuclear and attack. Damn.
It's that
Drink some
Rona.
water, man. Drink some water. Pégale en la espalda. Pégale en la espalda.
Me están hechizando. No, they could start attacking Tata and being saying how the team is underperforming and whatnot. It's possible, I think it does more harm, but I could see it happening. But I do see him, clinching a spot in Qatar. It pretty much seems in the bag at this point. Mexico would have to be like obliterated every game. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I guess my closing thought is they really in the road to Brazil, excuse me, they gave Chepo every opportunity to stay with the team and stay through the qualifiers and try to right the ship. And really, I don't see the FMF uh, firing Tata for the team not playing beautiful tippy tappy soccer if they're still qualifying. I think they understand. Hey, players, they go through ruts. I mean, it happened with under Chepo's run. Those guys were all having bad seasons. They were playing bad with El Tri, but come time for Brazil, they
They
all
all
stepped
showed
it up
up.
a notch. Yeah. I mean, Gio's World Cup was pretty damn good, right, Cheech? You know, they did a what's the national team they picked apart that year? Was it France or
When in Brazil,
yeah? And every World Cup they destroy some Euro. Uh,
it was Croatia.
Already forgot. We were just talking about this. Juwan already, typical Chiva fan, forgets things.
Yeah, we played.
What was that?
Was it Cameroon?
you
Yes.
didn't give me the talking
Brazil,
points, Joey.
and we
Oh yeah,
whooped. We whooped.
Brazil, Croatia, yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
Cameroon. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember all those.
that was a dark time. That was a dark time. I mean, we were literally the last team to qualify to the World Cup, and we are nowhere near that kind of level right now with Mexico. Mexico literally topped the group right now, 14 points, hasn't tasted defeat yet, and they face USA in Cincinnati. CantinaMX is trying to go there. I have applied. We'll see if I get in. But
Jaime,
what's up?
if you ever get a chance to ask Tata a question,
Uh huh.
or his coaching staff, just ask them how long it takes them to analyze a game. And I'm just curious because Bielsa, in one of his many clips that I've studied about him, he mentioned it takes him about 6 hours to analyze a
Oh
game.
shit.
So I'm just curious how long it takes, like how much Tata actually spends. I wonder if he'd give you a truthful answer because I have a feeling he doesn't. He did at least his first year. He wasn't spending that much time preparing for games. So
Hmm.
he just adjusts things at halftime and just kind of wing it. But yeah,
Then he dialed it in.
yeah,
We'll see. I mean, if I
yeah,
have the opportunity, I'll definitely ask him.
awesome.
Yeah. All right, folks, we're wrapping up episode 306. Thanks to all our listeners on YouTube and also on Twitter Spaces tonight. Appreciate the support. We'll be back next week to bring back Liga MX action into the conversation. We have match week 13 kicking off as of tomorrow at 6 p.m. Querétaro versus Tijuana. Really no standout games except for Cruz Azul Tigres on Saturday and then Chivas Toluca on Sunday. But we'll have that for you guys ready next week. As of right now, we're signing off. Everybody have a great night.